Yo, good morning. It is Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are having a great ass Tuesday, man. Saw this headline yesterday and it said 1 in 4 Canadians want immigrants to drop their customs. And so I read the article and I was interested to see what they say. Basically, the gist of it is, Canadians, 1 in 4 Canadians, which is 25%, although they had different categories, so it's split up differently for different questions. But it was more or less saying they wish Canadians that migrated here, immigrants that migrated here, drop their outward appearances, drop their turbans, drop their hijabs, drop their languages, and didn't really say anything about religion, but it was like, do your religion, but do it quietly. And obviously this is all part of like the growing anti-immigrant sentiment that's been growing here over the last 5 years, because immigration has been pretty crazy. But it got me thinking, man, because there was a thing that I read, which was it takes 3 generations for a culture and a custom to die. So when Canadians migrate here from other places, when immigrants migrate to Canada from other places, or America even, it's 3 generations. The first generation comes, they have all the customs, they have the language, they have the food, they have all that down. The second generation, they still kind of hold the language, they can understand it, they can speak it brokenly, but it's not as strong. Third generation, language is almost all but gone. They can kind of speak it, kind of understand, barely speak it. And by the 4th generation, it's wiped. So it's like the 3 generations to wipe a culture. And that got me thinking, because while we were celebrating my kid's birthday, we do this thing at home where my mom always did a sachpat. A sachpat is like a religious reading of our holy scriptures from start to finish for all our kids, and then did a prayer for that. She did for us growing up, for every one of our birthdays, for all the family members. She's doing it for her grandkids, and she's getting old, so it's kind of like, okay, she's not going to be here forever. Are we going to be able to carry on that custom? Because it's a huge time commitment and it's a huge effort. And I'm like, you know what, if we don't carry on that custom, it's going to wipe. And even Punjabi, speaking Punjabi with our kids, right? Like my kids can now understand Punjabi to a degree, but they're speaking it kind of like brokenish. And my Punjabi growing up wasn't the greatest, but we could always speak it, we could always communicate, and we could always understand it pretty well. But it just gets you thinking, man, that these guys are like, we want them to drop their customs, and I'm like, just wait a while and you're probably gonna get that. You see that, you could probably see that with all your friends, and I see that with married friends and stuff all the time, because a lot of them are starting to realize this, and they're getting worried, like, okay, well, how do we preserve it? And you just got to start, man. I know the Canadians, 1 in 4 want us to drop it, man. I say that means we got to preserve it more. We got to really work on keeping those languages, keeping that history alive. And I don't think it has anything, or it speaks any ill will of migrating here. There's certain customs that are worth preserving. Preserve your language, preserve your foods, preserve some of your ways, man. Drop the bad, keep the good. Anyways, got to thinking about that, man. Maybe you guys have better thoughts on that one. Anyways, y'all take it easy. Peace.